Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, good day everyone. I'm Shana Hanako from Al-Islam Politeknik of Bandung. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the material that should be presented at the Paris Panjava International Seminar organized by Muhammadiyah University of Tasikmalaya. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the presentation is held virtually. Hopefully, this difference in the presentation method doesn't change the objective to be delivered. Enjoy the presentation. This presentation is about the correlation between the knowledge improvement on early identification of speech disorder in children under 3 years and the motivation of the posyandu cadres through the dissemination of the Gabi poster. First of all, I would like to introduce the author team of this study. The team consists of myself as the first author. I'm Sheba from Speech Pathology, Al-Islam Politeknik of Bandung. The second one is Dian Nur Amdiani and the third one is Eis Relianti Arum. Both of them are from Radiology Study program at the same Polytechnic. The fourth author is Wiwin Winarti from Hospital Administration Al-Islam Politeknik of Bandung. And the last one is Muh Hussein Arifin from Teacher for Elementary School Education Study Program, Indonesian Education University. To start with it, I'll give you some illustration. Living in a big cities, regardless how modern it is, always left a shabby corner. One of it is the unawareness that our children suffer of a serious problem. Children living in our neighborhood having a severe problem and no one aware about it and we cannot see it easily. Many parents do not realize that their children have a problem and that problem affects their future in the end. The problem we are talking is speech and language disorder in children. Only few parents aware with the symptom and how seriously the effect would become. Now I move to the effect of speech and language disorder. Speech and language disorder often occur in children. In the USA, speech and language disorder have a prevalence of 5% to 12% in children aged 2 to 5 years. Children with speech and language disorder will have serious and lasting effects into adulthood. For example, by failing to understand language-based subjects, especially reading and writing disability, and furthermore facing a risk of work skills then end up being laid off from work. This condition is avoidable by interfering it as early as possible at children's early childhood before the golden age period over. Lastly, I would like to introduce the Gabi poster used by posyandu to educate parents for the early detection of speech and language disorder to children under 3 years old. The Gabi would like to introduce the way that parents can detect an anomaly by understanding the symptom and can immediately take action to break before it gets too far. The early detection tools is best carried out at Puskesmas, where they have a periodical program that focuses on children and mothers' health, namely posyandu. Posyandu and their cadres can introduce these tools to mothers who visit posyandu to check on their children. It is expected that by understanding the symptoms, parents would soon recognize if an anomaly occurred and immediately can terminate the speech and language disorder by giving their children the right treatment. This is the purpose of the study. To optimize the Gabi poster value, we conducted the poster socialization to posyandu cadres, followed by a research to find out the knowledge level of posyandu cadres on the detection of speech disorder in toddler and the relationship between the knowledge and their motivation to redisseminate it. This is the material and method. The study was held at Rusunawa Health Center involving posyandu cadres from Cisarantan Endah and Cisarantan Kulon subdistrict. Data collection technique was purposive sampling, where we involving all the posyandu cadres who present at the poster socialization. There was 81 cadres as a research subject. The research used cross-sectional design by giving the cadres two tests, before the dissemination or pre-test and after the dissemination or post-test. And cadres motivation was measured by the instrument given along with the post-test question. The collected answer sheets were then selected by the completeness of pre-test and post-test answer sheet as well as the motivation instrument. Cadres filling either the pre-test or post-test are included in the exclusion criteria. After that, the selected complete answer sheet were scored and difference between the pre-test and post-test scores was calculated. Meanwhile, the level of motivation was gained by converting the motivation score to the Likert scale. Finally, both data were analyzed statistically using Pearson product moment to find out the correlation and regression between the level of knowledge and motivation of posyandu cadres. And this is the result of the study. First result is the distribution of knowledge improvement frequency of posyandu cadres in Rusunawa Health Center on early detection of speech disorder in children under 3 years. The number of data is 62. The selection process of 81 answer sheets resulted in 62 complete and analyzable answer sheets. In this graphic, shown that there is still a cadres who has similar scores of pre-test and post-test, while the highest frequency occupied by 15 cadres occurs in 2 score improvement. The maximum score of improvement is 8 score is achieved by 2 cadres. This is the result number 2. Able to describe that the knowledge of posyandu cadres has increased 32.4% from 52.5% the average value of the pretest and 84.9% the average value of the posttest. The third result is about the distribution of motivation level frequency of posyandu cadres in the Rusunawa Health Center on early detection of speech disorder in children under 3 years old. The distribution motivation table shown that the majority of cadres, about 88.7%, have a maximum motivation value to redisseminate the poster in their area. Only one cadre has no motivation at all, and there is a small portion, 9.6% cadres, who have motivational values between 7 to 4. The fourth result is about statistical analyzing using Pearson product moment to assess the linear regression between the knowledge improvement and motivation of cadres showed a positive effect with a value of y equal to 7.48 plus 0.037x. It means that the higher the test scores improvement is, the higher the motivation of the cadres will be. However, the linearity relationship is not significant with a value of p equal to 0.69 or p more than 0.05. And the correlation also shows a very weak correlation, as can be seen at r equal to 0.052. Therefore, in general, it can be concluded that the motivation of posyandu cadres to redisseminate this information about early detection of speech disorder has little to do with the knowledge improvement gained during the dissemination. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we are going to present about the discussion part of the study. The slight difference on the knowledge improvement before and after the information was delivered to the cadres has to be evaluated. As shown in the presentation, slight difference on the knowledge improvement before and after poster dissemination. Evaluation on the information delivery activities such as short delivery time, a sufficient number of cadres, as well as the method of presentation in the form of lectures without any practice or simulation are considered important. The second one is the motivation of the cadres to redisseminate the DKB poster to people living in their environment was high. Although there was only a slight knowledge improvement, the motivation of the cadres to their environment was high. Some factors to consider in encouraging high motivation of cadres came from their self-confidence and pride when they get involved in the dissemination program as participants. Their awareness that the new knowledge they are going to receive will be useful for surrounding community, support from other cadres, and the availability of DKB posters. Ladies and gentlemen, before I end my presentation, allow me to summarize what I have presented. Let the cadres motivation high. However, an improvement of their knowledge is no less important. By using the DKB posters, knowledge of early detection of speech and language disorder would not only improve mothers' knowledge, but also the cadres themselves. A wise man said, "The more you give, the more you get." In other words, the more frequent all cadres use the DKB poster, the more improvement of knowledge they get about the early detection of speech and language disorder for children under 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention and watching this presentation. All your concern and feedback could be sent to the below email address. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.